Welcome to Spirituality, Health, Inner Values Academy. Today, we'll discuss about juvenile justice. So what is juvenile justice? Have you ever come across vulnerable children? When you see such children, did you get the thought of helping them? Do you have a desire to protect them, provide them all their needs, educate them, and make them a person like you and me? Then here is the opportunity for you to help those children. So my name is Azeem Dana, psychologist and hypnotherapist from Spirituality, Health, Inner Values Academy. So who are these vulnerable children? Girl children, street children, missing children, abandoned children, runaway children, children with disabilities, children of SC/ST families, children living in poverty, children as bonded laborers, trafficked children, children deprived of health and nutrition, abused children, children living with life-threatening diseases like AIDS, children with mental illness, children in child-headed households, the house run by a child, children affected by substance abuse, children with suicidal tendencies, refugee, migrant, displaced children. See if these children, have you come across these children? You can see some photographs and you can see if you can identify these children now. See children whom you will find in streets. Like these children who most of the time they never go to school. And even they are not fed properly because of poverty. So there are children who are vulnerable, who are access to, or there is a possibility of getting trafficked. And these vulnerable children, they are not only from the poverty or the low economic status, even high economic status, children are vulnerable. They become aggressive because of the various factors which we will discuss. So it is not like only children from low economic status become vulnerable. Even from a high economic status, children become vulnerable. So children who become aggressive, who are not able to follow the rules and regulations, they are also children coming under vulnerable. So what is juvenile justice? Juvenile justice, it is an act, some rules and regulations formed by the Indian government and which is implemented by the state government. So under juvenile justice, there are two categories, but both work together. Children in conflict with law and children in need of care and protection. So who are children in conflict with law? They are children who are apprehended due to petty offense, serious crime, and heinous crime. And they are dealt by the Juvenile Justice Board. And these children initially, the child welfare police officer, they have access to these children, or first they are reported to this child welfare police officer, or these police officer identify these children and send them to or take them to the Juvenile Justice Board. And after that, they prepare a social investigation report, individual care plan, and they are placed in an observation home or special home, place of safety. They are given de-addiction trainings and rehabilitation trainings they are provided with. And there is another children who comes under in need of care and protection, who are not provided with the basic fundamental rights like safety, shelter, education, nutritious food and care. And they are dealt with by the child welfare committee, and they are generally placed in children homes, and they will also be taken care by the rehabilitation services. And along with that, if the child is less than 6 years of age, they will also be sent for adoption. If the child is an orphan, or the parents are not able to take care of them and surrender them to the department, so they are sent for adoption, and this process is taken care by state and central government adoption agencies. And there are also open shelter and training institutes for these children. So these juvenile justice, they take care of the children both who come under conflict with law and who are in need of care and protection, with presumptions like they are considered innocent, and they follow the principle of dignity and worth. They include the children in all the proceedings. It is, they take every decision based on the best interest of the child, and the family also involved. Safety is provided, positive measures are taken. There is non-stigmatizing semantics. They don't use any vulgar words, harsh words. And they also see there is no waiver of rights. So all the rights, they provide all the rights to them. They are provided with legal help, legal support freely for them. And they also work on equality, non-discrimination, with the right to privacy and confidentiality. And the institutionalization, like they will be placed in these different homes, either children homes, special home, observation homes, only as a last resort. Even the child has committed crime, the first possibility is they are provided with bail, so that they can go back to their home, live a normal life. And there is principle of repatriation, restoration, fresh start. Natural justice is provided. They are diverted from the those negative influences. So these are the principles they follow in the Juvenile Justice Board. So what do we understand? What are the causes for this children in conflict with law and children in need of care and protection? There are psychological factors, biological, genetic factors, socio-cultural, environmental factors. There's something called teratogens, that is all those factors that affect a child before taking birth, prenatal conditions. Even if you type in Google, you'll find a lot of details about teratogens. Then the parenting style. What is that style followed by the parents? Assertiveness, life skills, social skills, self-control. So all these factors are considered, are play a major, these factors play a major role in developing a child who comes under conflict with law, and children who are in need of care and protection. So when we talked about parenting style, there is a style explained by Diana Baumrind. So what she says, there are basically 4 types of parenting. And parenting, like authoritative parenting, they demand things, roles from the child. At the same time, they provide all the comforts what is required by the child. There is a balance between demand and the response. So this authoritative parenting considered the best parenting based on the research. And other parenting techniques like authoritarian, rejecting, neglecting, too much permissive. So all other parenting creates some type of delinquency or some type of disorders in the children. So you can try understand more about this authoritative parenting, which as a counselor, you may suggest the parents to follow this technique, this way of parenting to develop a healthy child, healthy personality. So there are also childhood disorders which affect the children: conduct disorders, ADHD, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar disorder, and learning disabilities. So what are the ecological and psychosocial factors? Like family violence, community violence, nature and effects of child abuse, academic failure, bullying, gang delinquency, and gender delinquency. Alcohol and drug abuse, information technology facilitated deviance and delinquency, cyberbullying, social media addictions. Psychosocial factors influencing deviant and delinquent behavior: social structure, socialization, family, school environment, peer group, neighborhood, community, socioeconomic context, media. So basically, by understanding these three factors, we can work on them to produce a healthy child. So what are the theories and models which we can read and understand about the cause of children getting into conflict with law, or children in need of care and protection? So by understanding theories and models, we are able to prevent these situations and also able to manage and control the situation. So what are those theories and models? You can read this Bronfenbrenner's ecological system model, learning theories about uh, by Skinner and Operant, cognitive behavior theories, emotional development, temperament, emotional self-regulation theories, aggression, whether it is proactive, reactive, attachment theories, ball-based, ethological theory. These theories help us to understand better. Like Bronfenbrenner's ecological system, he explains the child is influenced by everything. Whatever is a child received through the five senses, through the family, through the peers, neighborhood, daycare facility, and also how the child or the school interact with the parents, the children. Things affect the parents at their office. So the ecosystem, parents, economic situation, mass media, social services, then macro system, attitudes and ideologies, then chronosystem, environmental changes that occur over the life course, throughout their life, whatever is happening, everything affects your child. So Piaget's cognitive development, Erikson's psychosocial development explains about like at each level of growth. Like for example, Erikson's stages, infant, 18 months, they develop trust with the parent or the caregiver. If there is no trust, then mistrust develops and it affects throughout their life. So during their first 18 months, the hope is the virtue developed. Then slowly it is the will, purpose, competency, fidelity, love, care, wisdom. So as we grow, when we have the virtues, the positive virtues imbibed within us by a child, then the child grows into a healthy personality. And PJ's theory explains about the sensory motor stage, pre-operational, concrete operational, formal operational, how the brain understands, yeah, brain develops from childhood days to adolescent age. So these theories help us to understand how to deal with the children in a better way. There is moral development, social learning theories. There are strategies developed by psychologists for resisting temptations, developing moral reasoning and behavior, development of morally relevant self-control. Self-control, you can Google and find out Marshmallow's experiment. So children who have self-control, they have a good future. They are able to restrain and understand and deal with the situation in a better way. Then there is motivation theories of Maslow's, conflict management, goal settings, So all these theories help us to deal with the children in a better way, to provide them a safe surrounding situation so that they can develop a healthy personality. Like Elkine's theory on adolescent egocentrism, like we should understand adolescents, they have an imaginary audience and they also feel that they are invincible to any type of situations. That's why they take part in risky behaviors. Marcia's theory on identity crisis, if the child understands who am I, what I am good for, or what I am interested in, they can develop a positive self-image. They can build proper self-esteem, self-worth. So as a counselor, you can help them to get rid of this identity crisis, giving them more understandings about themselves. Gender and sexual identity, gender expression also plays a major role. So what are the different interventions? So once we understood, one is to prevent, another is to manage and control. So once we know these are the factors affected children, then we can uh, help them to overcome those situations in a better way by means of interventions. So what are the interventions? There are psychosocial history taking. Um, it's like collecting the information about the individual, family, and the situations. General assessment, there are general well-being scale, truancy test, aptitude assessment to understand better about themselves, personality, temperament, what type of temperament, characters a child has and how we can improve them, moral intelligence. So there are certain scales available to measure all these values. Then interviewing using mediums like art and play. Art and play help us to understand the child better. So there are individual care plans, referral system, assessing risk of future criminality, adult criminality prevention. So individual care plan, we identify where the child needs some extra attention, what type of skills we can provide them um, for rehabilitation. Then historical risk factors, social contextual risk factors, individual clinical risk factors, protective factors. We can identify what are the risk factors based on this individual care plan, based on the social investigating report, mainly taken by the social welfare officer. So with all these informations, we are going to help the child overcome the difficulties. So some more interventions are psychological first aid, anger control techniques are there, basic strategic family counseling, cognitive problem solving skills training, multidimensional treatment, foster care, community-based intervention. We can ask the child to do some social service. So community-based intervention, social problem skills training, self-help based treatment, group counseling, peer group counseling, psychoeducational treatment, supportive listening. So these are the various types of intervention we can provide for the child to come out of being conflict with law, or to meet the needs of the children in need of care and protection. So there is a basically there is an overview of behavior management, occupational therapy, psychosocial therapy, motivational techniques, work with control group, work with children and adolescents, use of mediums and plays like drawing, storytelling, theater, recreation, sports, play, yoga, resilience and coping mechanisms, care and support for caregivers. Because if parents are educated, the caregivers are educated, it is easy for them uh, to bring changes with their children. Because as a counselor, you may not be available with the children all the time. So in that case, we can provide these trainings to the parent or caregiver so that it's really reach the children. Social integration, monitoring of interventions. evaluation of assessments, community reinforcement. Why we are doing all these interventions? So that the child goes back to the society, live a normal life. So that's what we call the social integration. We integrate with the society. Then monitoring of inventions, evaluation of assessments. Every time evaluation is very much required. Community reinforcement, provision of psychosocial support, providing basic necessities like medical aid, education. And we also teach them about sexuality, life skills, personal safety, to handle the crisis. We also teach them the skills to related with adolescents, perspective taking, emotional empathy, how to handle their emotions, how to understand what is going on in their mind, empathetic distress, listening skills, reflective skills. So basically, we try to understand what are the causes which make a child be be in conflict with law, or who are in need of care and protection. And by understanding the factors, we provide interventions to deal with the situation. So with all these things, how do we conclude? That is, the main protective factors to prevent and control and manage all these difficulties faced by these children. The main protective factors are, we have to provide them with school education, strong commitment to school, protect them from all these conflicts, and help them deal with the situation in a better way. Then there should be care in the family, foster care, or family care, adoption support. At least at one meal, they can spend together with the family to create a strong attachment and bonds. And we have to see the social support, the peer group, whether they are protective, safe, or if not, then we help them to be in a supportive peer group, or we educate the peer group. Then we have to see the child gets nutritious food, medical care, positive attitude towards all these types of interventions. We provide opportunities for the growth. We make them share emotions, understand emotions, express them in a proper way, so that they develop resiliency. Then structured systems, routines, customs. When a child follows a proper structured systems, routines, and customs, it protects them. It plays a major protective factor for them. Then attitude of gratitude, forgiveness. These are the values as to be developed amongst the children. Psychological satisfaction with self and society, pro-social involvement, development of self-control, which is very much required, so that the child is physically, emotionally, they remain happy. It acts as a protective factor for these children. So what is this JJ board, Juvenile Justice Board for Children in Conflict with Law? So they have a child welfare officer, probation officer. They are available in every police station. Even in the railway police station, they have one officer who deal with the child in an informal way, without creating any type of fear amongst the children. So this juvenile justice board, they are separate from normal adult trial. They protect against all types of abuse. They have a child-friendly atmosphere, and the first main important thing is they provide bail to these children so that they can go back and live with the family. They also create a social prepare a social investigation report, why the child was in that place, what made the child to behave in that way. They identify through social investigation report, and based on that they prepare an individual care plan, so that the child is provided with all types of support, training, to get back to a normal life. So like based on the individual care plan, they develop the education system, whether they can educated being with their family, or the board can provide education to them, skill development, rehabilitation. So with all these things, they can be reintegrated with the society. So, and this JJ board takes care of the child up to 21 years with all financial support. and the child identity is not disclosed, it is hidden. Even if there is an offense um, committed by the child, those files were removed. It is hidden or torn and destroyed so that the child's identity is not disclosed. So same JJ board has another child welfare committee to protect the children who are in need of care and protection. That is for orphan children with parent, guardian, but those who are in need of care and protection. This board takes care of these children. They provide foster care, children home facility, fit facility, open shelter, and CWC also provide education either in private school depending upon the children's ability, or government school. They also see the child gets nutrition and skill development. And if the child is below 6 years and the parent said uh, feels they are not able to take care of the child, then the government takes over, adopts the child, and they are also sent for national or international adoption through SARA or CARA, that is State Adoption Resource Agency and Central Adoption Resource Authority. So friends, all these trainings, why do we need to understand this? When you come across a vulnerable child, even if you find the child is doing something against law, still the government takes care of these children, whether they are in conflict with law or they are in need of care and protection. They understand the situation, background of the child. They help them, they educate them, they give all types of training, and they help to rehabilitate and reintegrate with the society. So whenever you find such children anywhere, you can even make the caregivers understand uh, how healthy the children future going to be by getting associated with JJ board. You can make them understand and you connect those children with this JJ board, which is available in every district in all parts of India. So in Chennai, we have at Purushavakam, Kasimede, in Tamil Nadu, Chengalpattu, Tirunelveli, Madurai. It is like basically it is located all over India in every district. And I'd suggest you can also go through the psychological first aid from WHO website and psychosocial support for children from UNICEF. So basically, if you need some help, you can just call this 1098. In my all the slides, you would have found this number 1098. If you call them, you'll understand, and they will provide all the help you need to identify the child, or once you have identified the child, they can provide you information like whom to contact. Basically, you can contact any police station which is available nearby. They will have a child welfare police officer. In an informal way, they will take care of these children. So you can inform them, or you can just call them 1098 and they will inform the police station or the someone or children home, observation home, whoever is available close to those children. They can go and help them. So some of the address and web links are here. Directories of child welfare committees and JJ board all over India. This link is their PDF. Some address which is available in Chennai I have provided. Then there is Juvenile Justice Board. If you want to understand the complete Juvenile Justice Board, the act, the rules and regulation, you can go through this website jjcdhc.nic.in, where you will find the rules and regulations. Then every individual state has their own juvenile justice board rules and regulation, that also you can read. You can visit any of your district child welfare committees, juvenile justice board. You can also understand them as a counselor when people come to you, or when you are reported with such type of children. It will become easy for you to approach these boards and help these children, um, to educate them, to provide nutrition, to protect them from all types of abuse, and you can provide them with a better future. So when facilities are available, why not we make use of them? It should not be that just because of lack of information, a child's future life gets wasted. So share this information with all the people whom you know, where you identify children who come under conflict with law, or you feel that the child is in need of care and protection. Okay. Thank you so much for listening.